Available now. Link below.
In tonight's special report, we're diving deep into a story that's shaking the foundation of the Republican Party and igniting the hearts of MAGA supporters across the nation. Ronna McDaniel's resignation as the RNC Chairwoman isn't just another political headline. It's a pivotal moment that marks a turning point in the battle for the soul of America's future. With former President Donald Trump at the helm urging McDaniel's departure, we're witnessing the rebirth of the GOP realigned and reinvigorated with the America First vision. Now, this isn't just news, it's the start of a political revolution. So stay tuned as we unravel the drama, the intrigue, and the strategic moves that will redefine the Republican Party. And you don't want to miss our final thought on why this matters to every American who values our republic. Now, just as the stock market reels from Federal Reserve decisions shaking investors to their core, the GOP faces its own moment of realignment, with Ronna McDaniel's exit signaling a seismic shift within the party. This political pivot mirrors investors flocking to gold amidst economic uncertainty. In these transformative times, safeguarding one's financial future becomes paramount. The Patriot Gold Group offers a beacon of stability, much like the reinvigorated GOP aims to be for its supporters. Protect your retirement with gold's enduring value. Mention next news for top-tier service from the Patriot Gold Group. Call that number on the screen, 888-857-9437, for a free investor guide. In an era of change, securing your assets and ideals is crucial, so give them a call. Now, the Republican National Committee finds itself at a historic juncture as Ronna McDaniel steps down from her position as chairwoman, a move that has sent waves of celebration through the MAGA ranks. Now, this is not merely a resignation, it's a symbol of a much-needed recalibration within the GOP, one that aligns with the America First principles and Trump's vision for the nation. McDaniel's tenure, while notable for its length, has been marred by a series of electoral disappointments for the Republican Party. Since her appointment in 2016, the GOP has struggled to secure key victories, raising questions about the effectiveness of its strategy and leadership. McDaniel, who was handpicked by Trump in the wake of his presidential victory, was expected to steer the party to new heights. Instead, the party faced setbacks in critical elections, including the loss of the Senate and underwhelming performances in the gubernatorial races. Take a look.
Obviously, I've been talking about Ronna McDaniel, but it looks like the straw that broke the camel's back was the reporting done by Jennifer Van Laar. Apparently, there was $3.1 million in private jet services since 2017, $1.3 million in limousine and chauffeur services, $17.1 million in donor mementos, and all of this is fine typically if you're winning. Because the RNC has not been winning, then they really started to look at these financial documents, and from what I'm hearing, the former president was not too happy when the report came out. He was loyal to her, but he said it's time for her to go.
Well, the former president and a lot of his allies were trying to squeeze her out. She has faced an intense pressure campaign. And we have talked in the past about how Trump had repeatedly pressured Ronna to cancel the primary debates because he wasn't going to be in them, and reportedly the primaries themselves. And she resisted. She said, look, I don't have the authority to cancel the actual primaries because they are run by each and every state.
What does this mean, though, in the middle of this presidential election, that the RNC chair is stepping down?
Switching horses.
Right. Is it because Democrats we've heard this time and time again, Democrats do a better job with early voting, with the ballot harvesting, and they want to see changes in the Republican Party before the election. But who will replace her?
Well, they are still talking about election integrity at the RNC, which going forward is very helpful to both parties.
I think the most fascinating thing is coming up in Michigan. It's got to be really hurt for not to be ousted right before Michigan, which is tomorrow. But I think the most intriguing thing from that report was really what's going on with Governor Whitmer. First story in the New York Times today. It's up to Whitmer to save Michigan for Joe Biden because of his support for Israel, which is wavering, because he has alienated himself from the Palestinian, Muslim, as well as the Arab community all at once. He won by 200,000 votes, but now there's a huge push by Bernie Sanders' group and a member of the squad to write none of the above for the primary. This could be extremely embarrassing in a state he simply has to have. And I'm wondering if that's going to affect the big picture, which is support of Israel in a desperate attempt to get the Arab community back in his column and try to win Michigan and this primary. So that to me is more intriguing than Haley versus Trump. It's Biden versus nobody.
Well, she's getting out Super Tuesday. After Super Tuesday, Nikki Haley says she's staying in until Super Tuesday. Right. The Koch brothers, they fund the Americans for Prosperity. They just decided to pull their funding for a presidential campaign of Nikki Haley.
And what they're doing is they're saying that they've looked at the last three elections where Trump has been involved and Republicans have lost, and they're terrified that Joe Biden and the Democrats will win the House and the Senate. So they are putting their money into House and Senate runs. If they can't win the presidency, they want to make sure that they hold at least
Brian,
one
when you
branch.
look at the RCP average, though, the president is up by 2 points.
It's amazing.
3 points right now. When you look at all the polls together, he's beating Joe Biden, which is the argument of some of the people that challenged Donald Trump that he couldn't win. But right now, looking at the polling right now, he is beating him.
Now, the video you just saw underscores the gravity of McDaniel's resignation and the optimism it has spurred among Trump supporters and those eager for a revitalized Republican Party. Trump's push for McDaniel to step aside reflects his commitment to reinvigorating the party's base and ensuring that its leadership is in lockstep with the goals of the America First agenda. Trump's dissatisfaction with McDaniel became increasingly apparent, culminating in his public suggestion it was time for new leadership at the RNC. His critique was not without basis. Under McDaniel's watch, the RNC reported a decade low in fundraising at a time when mobilizing financial resources is crucial for the 2024 presidential election. Now, this financial downturn, coupled with the party's electoral losses, painted a stark picture of a party in need of urgent reform. Now, in stark contrast, Trump's campaign ended in 2023 with a robust $42 million cash on hand, showcasing his continued appeal and the financial trust his supporters placed directly in him. Now, this disparity highlights a fundamental disconnect between McDaniel's approach to party leadership and the energized base of the Republican Party that remains fiercely loyal to Donald Trump. Now, his influence within the GOP remains unparalleled, as evidenced by his swift move to nominate replacements for McDaniel. North Carolina GOP Chairman Michael Whatley is tapped for the chair, with Trump's daughter-in-law, Laura Trump, proposed as RNC co-chair. Now, these nominations are not merely replacements. They are a clear signal of Trump's strategic vision for the party, emphasizing loyalty, effectiveness, and an unwavering commitment to the America First agenda. So, the celebration following McDaniel's resignation among Maga supporters is not just about a change in personnel. It represents a deeper yearning for a return to core Republican values and a leadership that champions these principles without reservation. McDaniel's departure is seen as a removal of one of the last vestiges of establishment influence within the RNC, paving the way for a more aggressive and focused campaign to reclaim the White House in 2024. Now, critics of McDaniel have pointed to her management of the party's finances and her failure to galvanize the grassroots as key areas of concern. These criticisms were not unfounded. The RNC's dwindling cash reserves and the lackluster voter engagement efforts under her leadership spoke volumes. In contrast, Trump's proposed leadership team promises a renewed focus on voter integrity laws, financial transparency, and a strategic approach to elections that prioritizes wins across the board. Laura Trump's pledge that every penny will be directed towards securing victories for the Republican Party and supporting the Trump 2024 campaign is a testament to the new direction Trump envisions for the RNC. Now, this commitment to financial prudence and electoral success resonates with the party's base, who have grown weary of seeing their contributions squandered on ineffective campaigns and consultants. As we witness this changing of the guard within the Republican Party, it's clear that Trump's influence continues to shape its future direction. McDaniel's resignation and the ensuing celebration among MAGA supporters underscores the collective desire for a party that is not only more aligned with Trump's vision, but also more capable of challenging the status quo and securing victories that reflect the will of the American people. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. In this pivotal moment for the Republican Party, Ronna McDaniel's resignation marks a significant turning point. It's a clear victory for those who champion the MAGA movement and a testament to Donald Trump's enduring influence over the party's future. As we look ahead, it's evident that the GOP is embracing a transformation that aligns more closely with the America First agenda. The shift isn't just about leadership changes. It's about revitalizing the party's core values and preparing for a victorious 2024. Trump's proactive stance in reshaping the RNC underscores his commitment to not just reclaiming the White House, but ensuring the party reflects the will of its base. The road ahead is filled with promise as the GOP rallies behind a renewed vision that champions strength, unity, and American greatness.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.